Okay, I think it's live again. So long, like a month here in YouTube, 1 month without streaming. After the last time here in YouTube, I think I went live one night at Twitch, and that's it. Hi Ina, welcome. Nice to see you. How are you? Tonight is different. I had a story to tell you about probably something big that happened to me this month, after my last streaming session, because I quit Twitter. So, as probably you can see on my Instagram account. Now, okay, nice to read that, Gina. I had no plan. I had no idea about what to draw tonight. So I decided, okay, what happened in this couple of weeks? What happened in this almost 4 weeks? Probably one of my highlights. It's just that I quit Twitter because for me it was unpleasant experience. So I decided that's enough, and that's it. And I quit, and I keep my account because I think I try to use the same username everywhere. But at the same time, I don't feel comfortable anymore there in Twitter, using Twitter. So that's it, at least for now. Okay, I want to talk about that because I met a really huge number of interesting people in Twitter this last 15 years. It was a really relevant space for me, for learning, meeting people, discover new trends. It was really helpful and necessary for me in my classes. So at some point, I make Twitter like a part of my daily life. Okay, it's a good. Thanks for that advice. It's a really interesting idea. Okay, I'm really excited about the last season, the final last season of Succession, and it's a really interesting idea. Thanks, Gina. It's a interesting topic. Thank you. Earlier today, I decided, because I had no plan to what to draw tonight, and decided probably I can talk about what about Twitter, what about me on Twitter, and what about how I used to use Twitter on my daily life. I was that kind of people. I used to be that kind of people that immediately check my feed just after wake up, immediately direct to Twitter, and very slowly that was changing, and since a couple of months ago that was not happening anymore. And I still had the app in my phone, but I barely use like 3 or 4 times a day. Last night I heard the news about the earthquake here in Mexico, not where I live, but here in Mexico, there was an earthquake last night, and I found that news first in Twitter, like in the old good times, but that's quietly changing, and it's not happening like like a long time ago. So I'm I think I'm feeling like abstinence and some grief. I think that probably it's the best for me right now, because it was not helpful for me anymore, not at all, or not at the same ratio, not at the same level that previously. So I decided to step apart. Thanks for your advice, Gina. Let me make some pause about my idea. I think it's quite complicated because it's live action, and probably I can think about that, like the the general idea that I draw for Succession season finale. Probably. Thanks. It's a really good idea. I need to talk about what to draw, and if you have some idea, it's always welcome. So any idea is it's welcome. Thanks again. I make Twitter like a really relevant part of my daily life, and for me was like a primary source of information, and I'm feeling that lack of news. Probably I'm a news addict, and right now, because I quit Twitter, it's probably something like a couple of hard weeks for me, because there are not enough news in other media, in other social media for me. But I'm dealing with that. Actually, I'm really happy trying Artifact, this news app. I installed it a couple of weeks ago, and it works really fine for me. And one of the most prolific uses that I make for Twitter is to find information about the topics that I need to teach at my classes. So right now, probably that's the main issue for me, that I'm not having enough data, enough information for the topics, the social media topics that I need to teach in my classes. Artifact is working really well for me. So, as I said earlier today, I was thinking, what can I draw tonight? And okay, I want to talk about Twitter, but at the same time, I want to say something about how I make my classes, how I gather all the information that ends in my in the keynote for each session. I'm about to finish to end a semester in a period. Actually, it's not a semester. I'm about to end a period of classes in one of the colleges that I teach. And as I said, because I leave Twitter, I need this new source of information. And the thing for me, this thing for me is that it's really helpful for me to have a system, and I think I had a pretty well working system to get all the info around, get all this information together, because I try to find a lot of interesting places to read about these topics that I need to follow, I need to learn, or I need to be aware of. So between Artifact, that I'm a heavy user right now, I think, Artifact and a lot of newsletters, since I don't know, a couple of years ago, I started just subscribing to a lot of newsletters, and that's the second part of this story, because I decided that I want to talk about Twitter and how I use Twitter in my daily life as a teacher in subjects related with tech and marketing and design and similar ideas related with that. And if I leave Twitter, for me right now, besides these new social media news apps, I'm a heavy user also of newsletters. I read a lot of newsletters for a different project that I do a couple of months ago, in the beginning of February, I think. For the first time in my life, I make a count of how many emails I got every day from these news sources, and I found something about 90 daily emails about topics related with these subjects that I need to teach. And I am pretty aware that it probably should be a really huge number, but 90 a day was unexpected, quite a bit unexpected. But I think it's true. I think it's a right number. So 90 emails just for newsletters and news feeds and information sources, and the really relevant ones are about 25. So I start every day reading about 25 emails that I receive in the middle of the night. I always have my phone in silence, so that avalanche of email doesn't wake me up at night. It's something that just happened in the middle of the night, and I discovered that a huge amount of information at the morning, and that's how I start my day every day. And in this pile of 25 premium emails, premium because of their quality. Actually, I pay for some sources, but in this set of 90 emails, daily emails that I get every morning, I'm a huge fan of Platformer, the newsletter of Casey Newton. He writes about technology, mostly technology, and for me it's a really, really interesting source of information. So earlier in the morning, while I'm taking my breakfast, I was thinking, okay, probably I should talk about what about Twitter and me and how I work, because I think it's really interesting to learn from other persons, from other people, how someone make their work, their everyday works. And one of these premium emails that I use as a source of information is Platformer. And recently, because it's related with that, recently Casey Newton was making a lot of posts, a lot of issues of his newsletter about Twitter, covering the daily subject of things happening at Twitter headquarters after the takeout of for Elon Musk. And most of his newsletter, when it's about Twitter, they have this illustration of a set of bluebirds made by artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, the new joker in the new magic solution for everything, artificial intelligence. And at this time, I think Casey Newton in his newsletter had this amazing set of bluebirds made by, I think it's DALL-E, DALL-E 2. I was looking at one of them, and I think, okay, probably I can draw one of that bluebirds of the Casey Newton Platformer newsletter in this tonight session. And I find this concept interesting because I'm trying to make it with this set of markers, with these classic tools, my own version of something created by these robots, by this machine process. And probably it's not intended to, it's like a fan art. It's made by DALL-E, not made by Casey or his team. And I think, okay, probably this is weird because I just want to talk about Twitter and I just want to draw something about Twitter, but at the same time I need an image to draw about this idea, this concept. And I think it's really interesting when you discover where someone is getting their information. Where is this data coming from? This probably could be like I'm not jealous about my sources, because I believe in the truly open internet. I'm pretty happy, I'm pretty comfortable talking about how I work and what are my sources. It's not big deal because it's Platformer, and I think it's widespread information. But for me, it's something that I want to talk about because I quit Twitter and I'm trying to work without Twitter. And Casey Newton had this really interesting newsletter, and I'm using the newsletter as Um, I'm trying to use this new letter as just as an idea for finding a bluebird to talk about my Twitter retirement right now. So quite complicated, probably um, probably not well. It sounds better in my mind earlier, I think. I want to talk about Twitter, and it's a I don't remember the description of the prompt for getting this bluebird. Uh, I just make a search. Uh, Bluebird digital art or something in my email, and because it's quite common in the recent newsletters, it was really easy to find. So platformer for Casey Newton, from Casey Newton, free on internet, free on your email inbox. There is a chance to become a paid subscriber. I'm not paying right now. I'm trying to decide if it's something that probably happened later. I don't know. Because actually I'm paying a lot of other news sources. So Casey Newton probably in my next batch of subscriptions, probably. And at the same time, that's why you should use DALL-E 2 for make your images, because it's quite faster than me. If you request this image, you probably get your illustration a couple of minutes ago, and I'm really slow. So right now I need to think about something related with Succession for my upcoming streaming in a couple of weeks, because Succession are in the chapter number 4 of 10, so there are 6 more weeks of that. Also, I tried this new music background. I changed the music for this session. As always, all the information is in the description of this video. A bluebird screaming. Also, I install new lighting in this period of time, so I hope the shades of yellow, the yellow colors appear better on camera. it's not, probably it's my camera, not my lightning. I'm about to start a new project, so I'm trying to find new sources of information, and right now I'm trying to improve the system that I actually have. How I find, gather, and tag my information in order to make it that accessible and available in different places and situations. So right now I'm trying to improve the way how I store. No, it's not about the storage. It's more about filtering of my information, filtering the sources of information that I need to find to the the issue here, that the thing here is that I need to find new data about topics that I need to teach at the school. So I'm constantly searching for new data of classic topics, for new data of old topics, and obviously there are news alerts and different ways to make all that information accessible and available at the moment. But the thing here is that because I already had this huge amount of data, of information flowing to my inbox, actually I need to pay, to improve my plan, to pay more for my storage capacity. I'm okay with that. Probably it's okay because I understand how that works. The thing here is that I need to filter and classify my information to make that accessible immediately in this weekly period of time, because I teach or I make my plans for week by week. So for me it's really relevant to have news of this week at hand. For me, really accessible, really quick and simple. That's something that I'm working in at this moment. So I think right now it's actually working. It's okay. I'm feeling more and more comfortable with the process because I think it's working. My classes are running quite good, I think, with this fresh data for the topics that I need to teach every week. And as always, I was thinking, okay, probably this is a too complicated way to say to the people, or probably no one, hi, that I quit Twitter. But that's the thing, that I quit Twitter, so I need to find new ways of information, but at the same time I want to talk about that new places for gathering information for me, and how's that working right now. And I think it's working. And it's a really funny bluebird. This one and this one and this one. Just today in the morning, I received my the first edition. The weekend, this weekend, I discovered a new for me newsletter, like something like the Stealing Club or something like that. A club of people who steal things, and I like that concept because we are stealing things, like this bluebird illustration. At this moment, no one of my close circle of friends and people, no one is asking at this time why I'm not tweeting anymore. And I'm okay with that because I'm pretty sure that Twitter was experiencing a really worrying lack of reach. They are losing their reach ability. So I'm pretty sure that since a long time ago, a lot of people are not watching, reading, giving time to their Twitter feeds. So that's why it's not helpful for me anymore, and I'm dealing with that. just like this example, I was trying to use automatic generated images like the really trendy and popular DAL-E 2. I'm trying to use that in my workflow, and I'm trying to push some ideas in the different projects that I involved into. And I think it's a really interesting moment. We can learn how to use this new technology, and I found that really interesting. And I like to think something about, okay, imagine someone in the middle of the public plaza not making your portraits in the old-fashioned way with pencil and paper, and people paying to that person for a portrait make in the traditional way. Like, no, probably right now there are people working or trying to find the way to push their abilities, making these new sets, these new kinds of illustrations, and finding some way to get some benefit of that process. Really quick, really simple, 4 minutes, and I think that's it. Why? Because I quit Twitter again, and I'm not feeling quite comfortable using Instagram. I'm not quite comfortable posting on Mastodon. And that's the idea about why I quit Twitter, where I'm looking for information right now, and how I try to make my classes, because I'm a teacher, make my classes in a different, relevant, proper way. Today is April 19. And it's really quick, really simple. I need to answer some email that just arrived. So, as always, thanks for watching. Remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks, Gina. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you soon. I hope to came back sooner than later. So nice to read you, nice to see you here, Gina. Again, thanks. Bye bye.